Hi there. Learn how to recreate this addictive game from scratch with smooth animations, challenging obstacles, responsive controls, and thrilling gameplay. We'll guide you through every step from setting up the project to implementing the game logic, such as dynamic text on canvas, featuring smooth graphics, to handling collision detection, auto update on scoring with end results, and much more with JavaScript. Here's a preview of what we'll be creating today. First, user can see the container with play button and score of 0. And below we can see the text, tap to jump on mobile or spacebar to jump on desktop. And we need to hit the play button to start the game. Once we start, our Flappy Bird game will feature to render the game board with background image and music with flying bird that the player can control to fly between the pipes via tap the screen or pressing the space key, and the game will track the score based on the pipe crossed by the user. This game is endless until we hit the pipes. Once we hit the pipe, the game is over and we'll get the replay button without any game object like bird or pipes. On top, we can see the total number of pipes crossed by the user as a score. Again, we can hit the replay button. It will reset the game to play. Don't miss out this fun and educational project, and I upload unique project videos every week. Make sure to subscribe our channel Sarachandar K. Your support means a lot. That helps me to create more content for you, and hit that notification bell to stay updated with our latest content. Now let's dive into the code. Let's open this Flappy Bird project folder in my favorite code editor, Visual Studio Code. Let me know yours favorite and why in our comment box below. Inside the directory, I have already added index.html, style.css and script.js. Along with this, we have two folders. One is sounds and one is images, games supporting files. Here inside the index.html, I have already added HTML boilerplate with the help of exclamation mark. Along with this, I have changed the title to Flappy Bird Game by Sharachandar K. And below, I have linked the files style.css with the help of link element, script.js with the help of script element. Now inside the body, we need to add the game element. For that, we'll add the canvas. This element is the hero of today's project. Canvas is used to draw graphic on the fly via scripting. With the help of ID, game canvas will set the width of 350 and height of 480. Along with this, we'll add the span tag to display the game score, and we'll add one more paragraph tag to display the user what to do with this mobile or desktop. With the help of text says tap to jump on mobile with break spacebar to jump on desktop, and next to this we'll add the button value of play. Now we need to style this. For that, I need to jump to the style.css. Here in the style.css, I have already added the import URL of font family press start. Along with this, I have added the global selector with the help of asterisk. This will help us to reset the margin to 0px, padding to 0px, box sizing border box, font family, press start from the import URL. Now we need to add the styles to the body with the help of element selector body. Now we'll set the background color to blue color, and we'll set the min height to 100 VH. Display flags will set the justify content to be center. Now we need to add the styles to the canvas with the help of element selector. Canvas will set the background color of white. We'll set the box shadow to this with the help of 14px 0 and 0 with black color and we'll set the margin of 1.5 rem. Now we'll style this pan tag with the help of pan. We'll set the position to absolute. This will help us to set on top of the canvas with left of 50%. We'll set to top 55px. We'll set the transform translate to minus 50%, comma 50%, and we'll set the color of light yellow color and we'll set the font weight to bold. We'll set the font size to 20px. We'll set the padding inner spacing with top and bottom to 5px, right and left to 10px. We'll set the cursor to pointer. Now we'll set the text shadow to this with minus 2px, 0 and color of black. Again we'll set 0, 2px, again the color of black, again 2px, and then position 0 with a black and 0 minus 2px with the color of black again, and we'll set the font family to brush dot. Now let us see our HTML file in action. For that, in Visual Studio Code we have an extension called Go Live. Once we click in the status bar, the tool will automatically run our project into the default browser. Here we can see the canvas with text and then score with shadow effect. Now we need to style this. With the help of paragraph element of P, we'll set the position to absolute again and we'll set the left to 50px and we'll set to top of 75px. We'll set the transform translate again with minus 50% and 50%. We'll set the text align to be center. We'll set the background to light yellow color. We'll set the padding inner spacing to be 10px. We'll set the font family to press start again. We'll set the font size to 10px and we'll set the color of gray. If I go to the browser, here we can see the tap to jump on mobile. It is placed into the bottom of the screen. The same as we need to design the button also. With the help of element selector button, we'll set the position to absolute. We'll set the left to 50% and we'll set the top to 50%. This should be into the center of the canvas and we'll set the transform again to translate minus 50% comma 50%. We'll set the background to orange color. We'll set the color to light yellow color. We'll set the font weight to bold. Font size to be 20px. Adding inner spacing. Top and bottom to be 5px. Right and left to 10px. And we'll set the cursor to pointer. If I go to the browser, here we can see the button on center of the canvas. Now we can set the hover effect to this with the help of button hover. We'll set the background color to light orange color. If I go to the browser, if I go on over, we can see the effect to this. That's all for the HTML and CSS. Now we need to add the functionalities with the help of JavaScript. For that, I need to declare the declaration and we'll do the action on it. For that, I need to jump to the script.js. Here in the script.js, we need to declare the declaration with the help of const with the value of core element equal to document. Document is an owner of your web page. With the help of document, we can do whatever action we want. Query selector, this will help us to pick that particular element of pan tag, and next thing we'll add the help text equal to document dot query selector of that paragraph of p tag, and we'll add one more declaration of play button equal to document dot query selector with the help of element selector button. This will help us to get all this element into the index.html. The next thing we'll add one more const canvas equal to document dot get element by id. We can use element selector or we can use id also. This is the easiest way, and we need to add the one more declaration of ctx canvas dot get context into 2D, and we'll declare two more global declaration of let score equal to 0, running equal to false. We'll see some of the declaration what these values contains with the help of console.log. So I will to score element, comma canvas. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I insert element, here we can see the first element of span tag with the value of 0, and then second element of canvas with ID and attributes of width and height. That is how the DOM tree will work. With the help of this, we need to manipulate the game. Here we have declared all the declaration. With the help of this, we need to load the images and we need to do the animations to play the game. First, we load the background image to this canvas. With the help of const draw background, we'll create one separate const. With the help of this const function, we'll create and display the background image. With the help of ctx dot fill style equal to, this will help us to fill this background style. We need to declare this function with the help of draw background. Before that, we need to fill rect with the help of 0 comma 0 x and y. The canvas is a two-dimensional array. With the help of x and y, we can add the graphics and we can add the canvas dot width. This will help us to set this fill react to the entire width, and we'll set the canvas dot height also. If I save, if I go to the browser, here we can see the background color to this. Same like this, we need to load the images also. For that, we have a ctx dot draw image function. With that, we need to add the canvas image and then dx and dy. For this, we need to create this canvas image object with the help of new declaration background image equal to new image object. This will help us to create that image source with the help of background image dot source equal to, we have the folder of images slash bg bottom. This is the background image, so I will use the same bg bottom dot jpg and will set the background image to this draw image, and we need to use the 0 for this dx and will set the canvas dot height minus background image dot height. This is what the dy. If I save, if I go to the browser, still the image is not yet visible. If I go to the console, here we are not getting any errors. If I go to the network, if I refresh here, you can see the bg bottom dot jpg, the status code is 304. This is said it's not loaded, so we need to do some trick on it. So we'll use the background image dot onload function. This will help us to check if this background images is loaded or not. Once it's loaded, then only this should be filled. If I save, if I go to the browser, now we can see the background image to this. Once we click play, we need to display the flying bird here, right? For that, we have 6 more images. For all the images, we can't do like this. So instead of that, we can do a window.onload. With the help of this function, we can load all the images at the Windows load time. So I can use this background image source, and I will cut and paste it here, and I can use the background image dot onload. Once it's loaded, we'll call this function of draw background, and I will remove the calling function from here. If I save, if I go to the browser, here we can see the background image as same as previous. Along with this, we need to declare the birds images same like this. Here we have a 3 set of birds image. One is Flippy Bird dot png one, this is 3, and this is 2. Here we can see the wings is on 3 direction. With the help of this, we need to create the animations like the birds are flying. So I can use the same like this bird 1 images source, and this is the bird 1 and bird 2, and this is bird 3. Again, I have used the bird 2 for the bird images. So this should fly to top to bottom. So only I'm using this 4. Along with this, we have 2 more images. One is ground and one is pipe. So I can declare this 2 also with ground image and then pipe image. So along with these images, we have a sounds also. We need to declare the sounds too. For that, we have a 3 sound, and one is it sound. If I go and play the it sound, it is this, and this is the bird point sound, and this is the background sound. These are the 3 songs we need to use in this project. Now once we hit the play button, we need to do that bird flying, right? For that, we need to create one more add event listener of this play button of this click of function. Inside this function, once we are click, we need to remove this play button as well as this text too. For For that, document dot body dot remove child. We need to remove the child of play button, and the same thing we can use it for the help text also. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I click on play, now we can see the play button and then text is gone. Again we can refresh, it will be here, and then we'll set the running state equal to true. So here by default we have set this running state equal to false, and score also to be 0. This should be resetting the value. Now once we hit play button, we need to start the music. For that we can use the background music dot loop equal to true, because here we have a 2 minutes of song only. This should be run on the loop, and we'll set the background music dot play function. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I click on play, we can get the background sound. The next thing, once we hit play, we need to add the game loop. For that we need to create one more const of game loop. This will help us to loop through the function of graphics, and will set the bird to fly with the help of ctx dot clear react of 0 comma 0. Will set the canvas dot entire width to be 0 and canvas dot entire height to be clear, and this game loop function should be called inside this play button. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I click on play, now everything is gone. Again we need to draw the background. Why we are doing this again and again? Because once we start the game and we hit the pipe somewhere, that time the game is over. Again we need to restart, right? So only we are doing this practice. Now we need to draw the ground also for this. For that we need to create one more const of ground equal to, this is an object, we need to set the x to 0 and y to canvas dot height minus, we need to set the ground height to this. For the ground, what is the height? Here this is the ground, so we can set the ground height to 20. Now we can set this y axis to this, and we'll set the ground height here. This will reduce this canvas height to minus ground height. So this is 480 and it will minus to 20, and it will set to 460 on the y axis, and we'll set the width of canvas width, because this should be filled into the entire canvas, and we'll set the height also. For the height we have already defined, that is a ground height to be 20, and we'll set the speed also for this value of 1, and we need to update this ground every time with the help of update function. Say this update function will use this dot ax minus equal to this dot speed, and we'll check if this dot ax less than equal to minus this dot width, then we'll set this dot ax equal to 0. This should be update to the starting point of x to be 0, and we need to draw this with the help of draw function. Inside this draw function, again we need to create the draw image of that ground image. Come on, we can use this dot x and this dot y of this position, as well as this dot width. Come on, this dot height also, and we need to call this draw function with the help of ground dot draw. If I save, if I go to the browser, here we can see, once we click play, then we can see the ground image here. If I refresh, if I click play again, we can see this, and then same as this we need to create the bird also. For this I will use cons object of bird equal to this object x of 50 should be y of canvas dot height divided by 2. This should be set to the center of the screen. Before creating this bird, we need to add some declaration of bird image frame equal to 0, and we need to add 3 more const of that flip interval, and then bird gravity, and then bird jump. Now we'll set the width to this of 45, and we'll set the height to it to 30, and we'll set the speed of 0, and we'll set the gravity to this bird. That gravity contains from that bird gravity declaration, and then we'll use the jump of this bird jump, and we need to draw the bird with the help of function. Inside this function we can create the bird same as ctx dot draw image of that bird image 1, and we'll set this dot x comma this dot y. I need to call this draw function with the help help of bird.draw. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I click on play, here we can see the bird image. But here it is not jumping or not doing the animations. For that, we need to create all the birds like bird 1, bird 2, bird 3 and bird 4. If I save now, if I go to the browser, if I click on play, here we can see all the bird images is added on top of the same image. Now we have created this bird image. Now we need to do the animations to this to fly. For that, we need to create one more function of update. This function, inside this function will check this dot speed plus equal to this dot gravity and this dot y plus equal to this dot speed. So here the speed is 0, the gravity is bird gravity. The bird gravity is 0.2 and this will update all the time to this dot speed, and this will automatically do the gravity of 0.2 every time, and this will automatically change the position of y to that bird. So if I hit on play, now it is not updating. Why? Because here, as I said, this is an animation, so we need to request the request frame animation with the help of same game loop. Along with this, we need to call that bird dot update function also. So the first time it will be y to 0.2. Again, this request animation frame will run on the loop, so the y is automatically updating to 0.2 0.2. So if I go to the browser, if I hit on play, so now we can see that bird is going to the downstar. That is how the y axis will work. So instead of 0.2, I will set to 0.9. If I save, if I go on play, now we can see the speed of that gravity. We click the space or the tab, the bird should be stay in this frame. For that, we need to create the event listener of canvas dot add event listener of click. Whenever we click this canvas, that time also we need to fly the bird with bird dot speed equal to bird dot jump, and then same for space key also document dot add event listener of the key down function. Inside this key down function, we'll get that ESA event. The help of this E will check E dot key code triple equal to 32. This 32 is pointed to this space key. So again the same code I will add inside here. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I click on play, if I click on space, now we can see the bird is automatically jumping on the top. How simple is this, right? Again, once we go down, the bird should not go to the downside. This should be stay into the canvas frame. So for that, we can add one if condition inside the game loop. We'll check if bird dot y plus bird dot height greater than canvas dot height minus ground height. This should be set to the top of the ground, right? And then if this is present, we'll set the bird dot y equal to canvas dot height minus ground height minus bird dot height, and we'll set the bird dot speed equal to 0. Else if we'll check bird dot y less than 0, we'll set the bird dot y to 0 and then bird dot speed to 0. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I hit on play, now we can see the bird is went and placed to the bottom of the screen. If I click on Canva, it is automatically going to the top, or else if I hit on space, it is automatically going to the top. Now the next thing, we need to do the flying effect to the bird. For that, inside the draw, we need to add some condition. We'll check if this dot speed less than 0, then only we need to fly this with the help of ctx dot save as a function. This will save this. Again, we'll use the ctx dot translate of this dot x plus this dot width divided by 2. Again, this dot y plus this dot height divided by 2. This will translate to this, and will set the rotate to this ctx dot rotate minus mat dot pi divided by 16. If this is matches, we'll check if bird image frame percentage by 3 triple equal to 0, then we'll set ctx dot raw image of this bird 1 comma minus this dot width divided by 2, same as minus this dot height divided by 2, and we'll set this dot width and we'll set the this dot height also. So here if I save, if I go to the browser, if I click on play, we can see the bird image here. The frame animation, it's looping the bird. We need to do the bird image frame based on this if condition. So again we can add else if condition. I can copy this, so I can use this next to this else if divided by 3 instead of 0, this should be 1. I will set to image of 2. The same thing I will use the another else if. I can check if this is 2. Now we can set the image of 3, and then last one as will set the else condition. Inside this I will remove this if condition and I can set for image of 4 here. End of this if condition will set ttx dot restore. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I go and if I play, so here we can see the bird is present and it is jumping on the top, and it is not going on the top of the canvas because we are restricted in the game loop, the same as it is not going to downstairs. Here it is restricted, but still we are not getting that fly effect. So for that we need to create one interval of set interval, and we'll set the set interval to this bird fragment. Bird image fragment will set plus plus, and we'll set the flap interval to this. This flap interval is for 50 millisecond. For every 50 millisecond, this bird fragment will be counted. First time it is 0, it will display the bird image 1. The second time it is 1, it will display the bird image 2, and 3 and 4. As same as this, it will be rotating the image. So only we are using this percentage. So this will calculate for the every 0, 1 and 2. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I hit on play, now we can see the flying effect on this. But it is going on the top. Whenever it is coming to the down, this should be rotate, right? The angle should be changed. Else this is going to the downstairs. So for that we need to change the angle. So I will use this same condition above and will change some parameters here. I will copy this and I will paste it inside this else condition. So here instead of this ctx dot rotate, for the top of rotate 16 we can remove this minus. This will change the rotation direction to the bottom. We'll check that. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I click on play, now we can see the up and down. Speed is up if it is going up, and if it is down, the rotation of the bird nose is moving to the downstairs of the canvas. Simple is this, right? Whenever we start the game, the base also should be moved, right? For that I will go to this ground. Inside this ground we need to update this ground image with ctx dot draw image with that ground image again, and we'll set this dot x plus this dot width, comma this dot y, comma this dot width, comma this dot height, and we'll update the ground also in the game loop. So I will jump to the game loop here. Here in the game loop we'll add the ground dot update. This update having this functionality to rotate the speed of the width. So if I save, if I go to the browser, if I click on play, now we can see the ground is moving and then bird also flying. Now we can feel we are moving to the right hand side. Along with this we need to add the pipe whenever we start the game, right? For the pipes we need to create one more const of add pipe equal to function. Inside this function we are going to add the pipe. Before this need to add some declaration to this. Let pipes equal to empty array, and we'll set some const declaration of const pipe width equal to 52. One more const of min gap equal to 110, and one more const of max gap equal to 190, and one more const of we need to calculate this pipe gap equal to math dot floor. We'll add the math dot random function to calculate this min height and gap of this space. we'll use max gap minus min gap plus 1 and we'll get plus min gap. This will help us to get the minimum gap between the pipes. Inside this, create one more const of height equal to math.floor math.random. We'll calculate this height of canvas.height divided by 2 and we'll add plus 50. This is the height of this base and we'll set the const y equal to height minus pipe cap divided by 2. Now we need to push all the pipes to that array of pipe dot push. Inside this as an array object x of can dot width and y of, we have already added the y on top, and then width of pipe width what we have created above, and then height again. Now we need to add this pipe whenever we starting the game. For that I need to go to that event listener of the click, because in that click only we are going to add this. So as same as this, I will reset the pipe array to be empty and I will add the function of this add pipes and will check console.log of what this pipe array contains. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I hit on play, here we can see the y is not defined error inside this. So here I have missed that space, so that is const y. So if I save, if I go to the browser, if I click on play, now the bird is came and the array also present. Here inside the array we can see the height of this pipe is 160 and then width it start from 350 and then y of 95. So we have added the pipe. Next thing we need to generate the pipes and to display. So I will remove this console.log and I will add the pipes also, the same as the bg image and then bird also. For this I will use function with the help of a keyword and draw pipes. Inside this function will add the for each of let I equal to 0, I less than pipes dot length and I plus plus. Whenever this pipe present, then only we need to display, right? For that only I am checking this as a loop and will add the ctx dot fill react as pipes of I dot x is the position and will set the white 0 and will set the pipes of I to the width of dot width comma will set the pipes of I will get the y from here, and again we can fill this ctx dot fill react of the bottom also, because we need to display the top and bottom pipe, right? So again pipes of I dot x comma pipes of I dot y plus pipe gap. Here what we are doing, the first pipe is on the top, so only we set the y to 0. So the second pipe we need to set to the bottom of this canvas and we need to use the gap also. For that y I have set with that pipe gap and then we'll set the pipe of I dot width, because this width is dynamic as same as for the y. For the height we can use the canvas dot height, because this is dynamic for the top side. So I will use this pipe of I dot y minus pipe gap. We need to call this draw pipe function on the game loop itself, then only we can able to see the pipes inside the game loop. I will use this draw pipe also. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I turn play, now we can't see the pipes. So here we have defined the pipes. We need to create the pipes of top and bottom. To fill that, ctx dot begin path of an function will set the ctx dot stroke style equal to that green color, ctx dot line width equal to 4, ctx dot move to this pipes array of I dot x pipes of I dot y. This should be moved to from starting to the point to be inside the for each, and then we'll set the ctx dot line 2 of the same pipe arrays of I dot x plus pipes of I dot width, and we'll set the pipes of array dot I dot y, and then we need to stoke this of that ctx dot stoke, and we can create the image of ctx dot draw image of that pipe image what we have already defined on top, and we'll will set the pipe array of I dot x is the position, and we'll set the first pipe of y equal to 0 and pipes of I dot width comma pipes of array I dot y. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I start, if I click on play, we are getting that ctx dot stock is not an function. We have missed that R here. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I hit on play, now we can't see the pipes because we have created the pipes in the fixed place. We need to move the pipes, right? For that, we can use that array of I dot x minus equal to 1. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I click on play, now we can see the stock style to this, but the image is not displayed. We need to check this. Why? Because here again I have missed the or from this stroke style. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I click on play, now we can see the top pipe here and then bottom pipe is. So I need to create the bottom pipe also with same like this. So I will copy this and I will paste it next to this, same as begin port, and then color also same. I will use little lighter, then line width also same. I need to move to instead of this y with pipe gap, and then same for the line 2 also width of this, and then y from plus pipe gap, and then stroke is same, and then draw image of this same pipe, and then we need to add the y from here, pipes of array of I dot y plus pipe gap, and then height also we need to add instead of this y, we need to set to the canvas dot height minus pipe array of I dot y minus pipe gap minus that ground height. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I hit on play, now we can see the pipes we are getting with bird is flying, and once the pipe is went, again we need to get the pipe again. So if I play, now we can see the space also here, that also we need to fix. Once we hit the pipe, the game will be over. For that we need to draw the baseline to here also. For that we can draw the ground dot draw. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I hit on play, now we can see the ground is filled to that pipe also. Now once we hit the pipe, we need to reset the game, or else once we cross the pipe, we need to update the score. For that we need to check the conditional statement. If bird dot x less than pipes of I array with x plus pipes of I dot width, and then same for bird dot x plus bird dot width greater than pipes of array dot x, and then we are checking if this bird x and pipe x is matched with the width, else if the bird x and then pipe width is matched, else we'll check bird dot y less than pipes of array dot I dot y, or we'll check bird dot y plus bird dot I greater than pipes of array dot I dot y plus pipe gap. If all these conditions satisfied, then what will happen, what this condition is doing. So here we are checking bird dot x and then pipe of x and y. If everything is met, we need to set the game over. For that we'll check control dot log of game over. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I hit on play, now we are not getting any of the console. If I hit on the pipe, here we are getting the game over. So here we can see this, that is how the collision detection will happen. Instead of this console, I can set this running equal to false, and then I will use this running into this game loop. Here if not of running, then we'll set from return here. So this will not allow to update the bird or update the loop from here. So only we are using this flag on the first. So then we'll change the ground dot draw, and we need to add the button to this const replay button equal document dot create element of this button. We are going to create one more button, and this replay button dot inner text equal to will set for replay, and will append this button into the document of the body. Document dot body dot append child of replay button. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I hit on on play. I'm going to hit on that pipe, hit on the pipe. We can see the replay button with over effect. The style is automatically taken from the style.css. Now we can't see the pipe and then bird because inside the game loop we have stopped the request frame animation. So it will not going to request again. Once we click replay, we need to restart the game. And once we pause the pipe, we need to update the score also, right? For this, first we'll set the event listener. For this replay button dot add event listener. Click again with function. Inside this function, we can remove the document dot body dot remove child. We can remove this replay button and we'll set the running equal to true. So this will help us to get that request frame animation to be fire, and we'll set the score equal to 0, and we'll set the pipe dot length equal to 0. Again we need to add the pipes because we are resetting this, and we'll play the game loop here, and once the game is ended, and we need to return from here. And how we need to update the score? For updating the score, we need to add one more conditional statement of if bird dot ex greater than pipes of array dot I dot ex plus pipes of array dot width and then not of pipes I dot cost. If this is present, then we'll set pipes of I dot cost equal to true because we are passed that pipe, and we'll set the score plus plus. It will not going to update the score. We need to update the scores also. End of this, we can update the score element dot text content equal to this score. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I hit on play, now the score is 0. I'm going pause this pipe. Now we can see the score is 1. Again, we are not getting any pipes that we need to create. Again, we can add one more if condition. We'll set the pipes of I dot ex plus pipes of I dot width less than 0. Once this is crashed, and we need to remove this pipe from the array with the help of slice of I comma 1. This will remove the current object from an array. Again, we need to do the I minus minus, and we need to add the add pipes from here. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I hit on play, we'll get that bird. It is flying, and once we cross the pipe of the width of the canvas, again it will create one more pipe. Again it is crossed. Now the score is 2. We are crossed the 2 pipes. Now game is over. If I click on replay, again we'll get that fresh game with fresh pipes, and then scores also 0. We can cross the pipes and we can do the thing. Now we need to add the sounds to this with the help of whenever we cross the pipe, we need to add the point sound dot play function, and whenever we hit on that pipe, we need to play the it sound dot play function. This will play the it sound. Again inside this, we need to reset the sound. So for that, I will copy this and I will enable this sound from here, and I will enable inside this game loop also. We need to pause the background whenever we hit the pipes. For that, background music dot pause function, and then background music dot current time equal to 0. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I hit on play, can get the bird and the flying bird, and get the point sound, pause the pipe again, we get the second pipe, and once we hit that pipe, we get that it sound, and then background music is stopped. Again, we can hit the replay and it will play the game as said. And that's it. A complete Flappy Bird game built with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript with Canvas. Feel free to customize and expand on this setup to add more feature or improve the design. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more tutorials. If you are interested in JavaScript projects like this, I have created and added a playlist link in the description. Please do check it out. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, keep coding and keep learning. See you in the next video. Happy coding. Bye for now. Have a nice day.